Welcome back into Seven Rivers Racing and KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losi. We are, I think, under a month, close to a month before opening night at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, and the days just fly by now.
It's not that they're flying by. Everybody probably wishes they could be out at the track, but like a normal year, we're waiting for our motor to get back. We can't even get out there, and we probably would have been out there 2 weeks ago if we had a motor.
I know, looking at, again, we were talking about social media on the last show, and all these drivers and race teams putting together Facebook pages finally, and a couple of them said they finally fired up the Thunder stock or the late model last week, and now they've got the big bug to get out there.
Yep.
And it always helps when you've got someone like Dave Nelke at La Crosse Speedway that throws up little snippets on Facebook this year to really get the juices flowing. I think it started back with the groundhog. I remember the groundhog caption that was put on their Facebook, and then it was up until, well, the last one he threw up last week was a shot of the green grass on the infield, a quarter mile that's really growing green. The neatest one I thought that really had a lot of people ask me was he took a picture of a portion of the racetrack and threw it up on the website and said, "Where is this? Locate this." And it was really interesting to see some of the replies out there. So if you're watching and you are a race team, you don't have a Facebook yet, I would highly encourage you to do so because a lot of good free advertising goes on out there, and you can keep your fans involved and even look at some of the events coming up with some of the smokers. We do want to drop some of those. March 31st, Nick Clements will be holding his at the Vault in Rockland. Travis Christensen will be holding his at Track 2 in La Crosse. Interesting with Travis, got married and has some small children, bought a house last year. I think he ran a La Crosse maybe 2 or 3 times, looking at running a full season this year.
That would be nice for him. Yeah, he's been out there intermittently here and there, and he's a good young kid, and it would be nice to see him out there.
So again, those are coming up. John Olson's holding his April 7th, and I think that will be the last round of racing fundraisers coming up. And again, really send a big kudos out. I did John Petrowski's this past weekend, and it's neat to see all the different drivers that show up from all the different classes. It's not like late models stay with late models and Thunder stocks support Thunder stocks. You're getting drivers from all over the place that come out and help support some of these race teams and their ventures into the next year.
And the reason for that is because everybody starts off somewhere. Most people start in the Thunder stocks or the Hornets, and they work their way up, and they make friends on the way up. So everybody supports everybody else as they reach other heights at the racetrack.
Looking at some of the opening schedules coming up here, the Mississippi Thunder Speedway up in Fountain City is going to be opening up April 27th. Had a chance to talk with track owner Bob Tim last week, and they're starting things off like NASCAR does with a Daytona 500. They're starting their season this year with their biggest race of the season, a $4,000 to win USMTS Modified Championship Series, along with some of their regular classes. And kind of nice to see some of the tracks start off like that.
It is. It kind of gives everybody that much more of an amped up feeling at the beginning of the year when they can get things going. I know La Crosse starts off with their media day, and that is a lot of fun too.
Well, especially that night, because they're starting something different this year. We're going to talk about in just a second at La Crosse. So it's MississippiThunderSpeedway.com for more information there. Dells Raceway Park finally has their entire schedule out for the season. They open up on May 19th. As we told you last week, the Lenzings have purchased the track, and they're getting some other finalities done there, but there will be racing. That was the big rumor mill over December and January, whether Dells was going to open back up this year. They will start with late models, sportsmen, pure stocks, and bandits. That's DellsRacewayPark.com for more information there. Their informational meeting is coming up on April 7th, and they'll have their informal awards ceremony. Madison International Speedway is going to open up Sunday, May 6th with the inaugural, not the inaugural, it's going to be a repetitive Joe Shear Classic, ASA Midwest Tour, and their late model Triple Crown Challenge. I hope to get down there for that this year.
That would be a lot of fun, and Joe, of course, was one of the legends of racing in the La Crosse, or in the Wisconsin area for many, many years, so it's a worthwhile event also.
And of course, we see the Shear name coming back to Oktoberfest every year at La Crosse.
Yes, and that is so much fun. Also, I don't think people realize how important the La Crosse Oktoberfest races are. Just this past week, I have heard that there's a national commercial out there on a biofuel that includes a little snippet from the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway in the commercial.
And I want to say that was And I'll ask our guest to clarify that. I think it was 2 years ago, Oktoberfest, they had a biofuel car. La Crosse didn't, but whatever the company was,
Right.
brought a biofuel car in that was parked on the, I want to say it was inside the quarter-mile track, and didn't run that great, but I think it was an introduction to what could be maybe the future of auto racing.
Right, and that's kind of nice that something in the upper Midwest like this is seen as something that is that advertisers nationally would like to get involved with.
So again, more information there. That would be Madison International Speedway.com, otherwise known as MIS. You can also find them on Facebook. They do a nice job of updating that. I also want to drop Tuesday, June 12th, the Swiss Colony Howie Aletto 150 at the Milwaukee Mile. You're going to have, from what I've heard so far, at least 6 or 7 La Crosse area drivers are going to be heading to the Milwaukee Mile June 12th, and that may even grow depending upon how their season goes. The names of Dave Reagan, Dave Stremme, Tony Raines have already said they're going to be racing there. And it came to light late last week, early this week, that Rusty Wallace will be pulled out of retirement. I guess he's going to race at the Milwaukee Mile.
And it makes total sense. Rusty's a Midwest guy from the St. Louis area. He owns the Iowa track down near Des Moines. And for him to go to the Milwaukee Mile, he's probably out there just to have a lot of fun.
Well, you can get more information at the ASM Midwest Tours website. They've got VIP packages, they've got camping available, and some camping stalls and whatnot. So you want to check out the ASAMT.com website for more information there. When we return, we're going to talk about the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Another exciting season getting ready to kick off here on April 21st. And then the regular season April 28th. Track promoter, general manager in his 25th year, Chuck Deary, is going to join us on the program to talk more about what's coming up at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway when we return on Seven Rivers Racing here on KQEG TV.